Good day, everyone. So right now we are going to discuss about calorie counting. As you all know, calorie counting is the most popular way to lose weight. However, I will discuss with you today why is it not that effective when it comes to pure fat loss or weight loss that is specifically coming from fat loss. And we will do that by discussing the anatomy of a hamburger. So you see, a hamburger will have components that is made up of bread on top, pickles, greens, cheese, patty, and all others in between, and another bread below. So say for example, you will have to eat this hamburger with only one patty and with the rest of the components inside, plus the full bread on top and the bottom. So this hamburger will have a calories of about 500 kilocalories. So that is coming from mostly from the beef patty, but also coming from the bread on top and at the bottom. Whereas this one is a hamburger. It's actually a triple cheeseburger, but we remove the buns on top and bottom. But this one will equate into about 900 kilocalories. So would you believe me if I say that this much calories will have increasing or more chances of you losing weight if you eat this as compared to eating this one with only 500? Yes, that is true. And why is that? So that is basically comes from the reason that they are of different macronutrients. So we have three major macronutrients, and that is fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. So the bread are the carbohydrates. The beef patty, consider that it's full, is made up of protein and fats, around somewhat 50-50. 50% proteins, 50% fats, healthy fats that is. Cheese is also made up of fat that is very healthy. The greens are carbohydrates but very minimal, less than a gram of carbohydrate in it, so it's very negligible. And all others, the pickles, are all very negligible when it comes to calories. So that is the reason why this much is very energy dense, because fats and proteins are more energy dense, especially fats. 1 gram of fats is equal to 9 calories, whereas 1 gram of carbohydrates is only 4 calories. However, why is it that you will lose weight with this much calories as compared to this one? It is because the calories is not the only reason why you are keeping those weight, why you are keeping those fats. Because whenever you take in the carbohydrates on top and bottom of each hamburger, you are not just increasing your blood glucose, you are not just taking in the carbohydrate in it, but you are also promoting the signal of releasing insulin. So insulin, whenever there's blood sugar spike, insulin spike. So what does insulin do? So insulin is a hormone that stops fat burning. So it stops the natural process of us humans to burn fats. Actually, if we don't do anything, our body will naturally come into fat burning state. However, whenever we take in carbohydrates and up to some extent so much proteins, it will inhibit the fat burning process, because the insulin will stop it. Because insulin is also known as the fat storing hormone. So to make it easy for you to understand, each hamburger, it's not actually the beef patty or the cheese that's making you fat, but it is the buns on top and bottom that's signaling your body to store the whole of hamburger into fats, or at least not use it as energy. Because when you take in carbohydrates and insulin, there is that spike, your body will prefer glucose. It will only consume glucose as energy and not fats. The fats will just be stored. And if you take in less glucose than or more than what it is here, you will starve. You will be starving. And even if you still have that proteins and fats, you will still feel like craving or starving and hungry, because those fats and proteins that supposedly can be converted into energy will be stored as fats, because that's the signal that hormone insulin is doing, as compared to this burger with a very energy dense, that is almost 900 to 1,000 calories, but without the signal of insulin, without that hormone of signaling stoppage of fat burning, your body will just automatically go into a fat burning state. It will burn the energy that is coming from fats, proteins, both from your food and from your own body. So that is the reason why calorie counting isn't really that important when it comes to pure fat loss, because pure fat loss should be initiated or can only be initiated as long as there is no insulin in your body. That the insulin that you have is just the basal level of insulin and not the elevated level of insulin that results from the intake of carbohydrates. So the next time you eat a hamburger, it's your choice. Are you gonna store it as fats, or are you gonna use it as energy? And there's one way to do that. You remove the bread on top and bottom, and of course you don't eat it with the fries and the soda. So that is just an illustration how our body works. What's the difference between fats, proteins, and carbohydrates when it comes to fat loss? And I hope you get to choose well the next time you have a hamburger in mind. So as for me, I just use the burger or this hamburger, wherein there is no bread on top and bottom, but all the meaty, nutritious, energy dense, and more delicious components that is just inside this hamburger. That would be all for now. Thank you, and till our next video. Bye bye.